Well, I think you can tell I'm very passionate about Hearthstone. On December, I get to like chill out, and already I tripled my stats of the month. It's fascinating. Not sure how I pulled it off on November, but I discovered, I guess, the ultimate way to get views is to put a face whenever you can, whenever it's possible, and make it, clean as well. Thumbnail as clean as possible. Just put one thing, unless it's a combo. That Inspired Technician was always a thing for like 3 months, but only when it just leaked out. Instant nerf, or ban even. And ever since that thing 2 days ago, I don't look at Hearthstone the same way anymore. Like, this ban makes no sense. Like, it's absolute insanity, bro. The fact that they had to ban that card in particular, that combo in particular, when there's way more worse things in the game right now going on, but this is unbelievable. Do I get a dust refund for that shit? I need a brain cell refund at this point. But it's just a common card, bro. I don't even get a dust refund, though. I can't play the card, bro, that I like so much. Or, the dust refund should actually go to Thaddeus anyways, unfortunately. They know what they're doing, and they're doing a very interesting tactic at this point, and probably they're looking at... Are they gonna complain if, we're gonna nerf Thaddeus, but like indirectly ripping off the combo into shreds? The only reason why Thaddeus is playable and craftable? What if we do that right now, huh? Cool, right? So, I mean, that's one way to nerf combo decks and not give dust refunds. It's very interesting stuff that's going on. Also, Pyrotechnician getting banned is a meme now because we're not gonna have fireworks for our New Year's Eve. Hearthstone as a country will not have any fireworks. So, we almost had it, guys. Pyrotechnician, I think it was released this year. No, probably not. It's Festival of Legends, though. It was released this year. Can you imagine? You release a card that has a little bit of flavor at the end of the year, and then you ban it instead of allowing it to happen. I guess it's a children's card game, and we're not supposed to handle fireworks because that's way too dangerous. What is not dangerous, however, is Flame Juggler. What is not dangerous is the idea that I receive so much brain damage in the comments. This was a problem? Are you kidding me, bro? Are you insane? Saying that to me right now. I received that comment and it's just like, it blows my mind. But this guy has 2 subscribers, that's what blows my mind. I mean, good job at removing Flame Juggler type RNG. This was a type of RNG as well? I am surprised because I don't think they did. My counter argument was every single quick draw card is that type of RNG, unfortunately. It's literally right there. Like, it's literally right there right now. Being able to draw specific cards on a specific order is RNG. That will never go away, but that's fine. It's part of the game. But let's keep that in mind, guys. Some people think that Blizzard actually is trying to like avoid RNG moments. And as much as they would try to do that, it's not gonna work that easily. Especially when we do, in fact, summon random minions. It's just these cards are no longer playable. You know, that's the whole point. That's the reason why it feels like Flame Juggler has faded away. Just like Dr. Boom or Ragnaros. Random cards are no longer playable, they're weak. Blizzard thinks that, oh, if you get a random card, that means... Well, That's not what it means. You just get a random card and it's most of the time gonna be useless. So we avoid that stuff pretty much. People don't even play Sunwell because it's filled with random cards. It doesn't necessarily like carry you. And it's a very icky card to play. Flame Juggler idea is still floating around in the background. The reason why I'm making this video is not to answer this one particular gripe, because that is as stupid as it gets. Because I already answered the question of like, is Flame Juggler still around? And all of it, also, early game doesn't matter anymore. Who cares about Flame Juggler when you just reset the game, right? When the late game cards are so powerful, you'll just, you know, gained health easily. In fact, this is your new Flame Juggler. It's a question of like, should you not play this card? And when are you gonna draw this card, huh? When are you gonna just draw it? With quick draw mechanic, in actual Western movies, you are able to draw from your deck or from your, you know, holder, weapon holder, whenever you feel like it. But in Hearthstone, it seems like it's a Flame Juggler effect, style of effect, that this guy fails to recognize. But hey, every single person has some kind of brain damage going on that, you know, has to be proven wrong. And we heal, we recover, and we bury this game in the graveyard, hopefully, by doing so. Because holy shit, it doesn't... Even this literally is the Flame Juggler. It's literally in the name, Eternal Flame Juggler. It just couldn't fucking fit in the name. And the dude just fucking gives me that. Right? Unbelievable. It's almost like I received free soul as a meal. As I'm a homeless demon. I got a free soul. It's literally there. And it's unbelievable, man. He could have commented down in this video because most people comment under Ignis video. He could have just said that under Ignis video. You can see everyone is ranting under my rant. Because it's allowed, I guess. Yeah. Flame Juggler, my friends. It does matter what kind of weapon you get, unfortunately. Yeah. Makes a difference. So, hopefully that's a smooth enough transition to talk about game-winning cards. Legendaries that are so cringe, so stupidly designed, that they just win the game on their own. That's your win condition, but you still have to draw it, and if you draw it fast enough, and juggly enough, I guess, well, nothing can stop you anymore, except for Viper, because Viper always stops everyone, right? You remember when Ooze was the most powerful card in the game? I don't. Remember when Harrison Jones was drawing fucking 3 cards and countering your weapon? I don't really remember that, unfortunately. I remember people just playing Harrison Jones as if it's like a fucking 5-drop with stats. You know? It's pretty cute. And it didn't bother me that they just like counter my dagger or some bullshit like that. You don't play that many weapons to be countered. Even like half of the classes don't even have weapons. So we've proven that out of the way. But holy shit. Someone actually thinks RNG is no longer a part of the game. I can't believe that shit. Random is... You just type random. That's all you need to do, I think. I think you're just gonna get plenty of Flame Jugglers, okay? Just absolutely plenty. Even Stereo Totem can be a Flame Juggler by default. This can be a Flame Juggler. This can give you a Borkler if you want, unfortunately. Obviously, we have nerfed one Flame Juggler. This is technically Flame Juggler, and it's a very good card. Very good card. This is Flame Juggler by all means. Necessary because you can just copy and paste your opponent's win condition, potentially. But nobody wants to play Flame Jugglers. Right, these are not, like, appealing cards to people. Flame Juggler, absolutely. These not so much. This is not so much, but, like, it's fine. Flame Juggler doesn't even, like, kill things. It's just 1 damage to a random minion. Doesn't even do anything. It's just like a potentially mage hero power that you can't really use efficiently. I'm sorry, bro. It was a good card for 1 year, maybe. Maybe Reynad complained about it way too much, and we received so much brain damage we can barely recover. It's unbelievable, bro. I have not heard this name for so long that I'm, like, surprised that this guy said something at all without, you know, removing dust from his clothes. Anyways, so that's out of the way. Let's continue. The legendary run. Watch the previous video, and obviously if you watch more, give me more watch time, YouTube is gonna tell me, oh, this guy has reputation. This guy made you watch a video for longer than usual. So if you can put me in the background, just out of pure respect of having more videos than subscribers, so just, you can do that, all right, for me. You can do a lot of things as a viewer to help me out. Kickstart my mixed martial arts career against Hearthstone. Or Fartstone. I'm not sure which name to use at the moment. We switched to Legendary. And see where we left off. Because these are pretty cringe. Alright. Oh, look. The cringe legendaries are the ones that are overly played. And then they are side-by-side comparable with the most stupidest legendaries that are unplayable, unfortunately. Which sucks. I'm not sure why these were not played, but again, it's kind of random of, like, what cards you have in your hand, and you don't actually generate that many spare parts, which is what these were synergizing with, I believe. Is that where we left off? No. We saw I'm in charge, boy. We said that Reno Jackson is jackpot. Which makes you think right now if there's some kind of undertone of casino going on. Because now it definitely tickles my brain. Definitely pisses me off. If there's casino undertone, then Flame Juggler. But already, like, we have Ignis, and it is what it is. And you don't even see it in front of your face. Because the juggler part, you know, is removed, but not really. It's so stupid, bro. You have to draw Ignis, you have to get a 10 mana weapon, and a good one. And you have to forge ones. That's it. Requirements. But they're RNG related, absolutely. And they're so strong, the effect is so strong that it matters, every single bit of that. Whatever happens. Old stuff, whatever. I'm still not getting up to patches. But up to this point now we collected like 77 point of cringe, basically. I mean... I might be remixing my videos in the future. It depends how the audience resonates, you know. Maybe they like sometimes getting 10-minute videos in the mix. We'll see. There's a lot of I can do with this channel. Also, yes, we're not looking into class cards. They don't matter that much. but they do matter a little bit. We do look at it, so that's that. Where's the patches moment? And it's funny because, again, patches need to be patched to not be in charge. I mean, like, what? It's amazing. Even voice line can misplay a little bit and be nerfed out of the way, so it's misaligned with a creature in play. It's weird, man. It's weird. How about, like, play 3 pirates? Why do you have to make it an aggressive thing, right? Why couldn't it still be in charge? Just play 3 pirates. It's unbelievable to me how this is so degenerate, in a way. The design of it. Where it's like, well, if I can summon this so easily, then I just play 1-drop pirate in every single deck. That was the most degenerate thing that ever happened to Hearthstone. People just played a random pirate, 1-drop pirate, just to summon this out of their deck. And then Reynard had to stop people from thinking that they're thinning their decks successfully and drawing more consistently. But they probably are doing that, unfortunately. Even that slight advantage is actually quite a big difference. For aggro decks specifically. What else do we have here? And every other card is absolutely unplayable except for Flying Star. Then Beardo is sort of playable to some extent, and Sally is a very cool card that I like because it has the vibe of a Doomsayer. So, but it's fairly expensive. It can probably just be a one drop, 1/1, right? It can cost 1 mana. Would absolutely be satisfying to see this buff. Or just the old cards being reworked and re-pushed in the game. You don't need to print new cards. You can just rehash old memes. Just like I can remix old videos if they're still somewhat breathing. Still somewhat usable. I can look back into the past anytime. It's not that big of a deal. It's probably going to look completely different and feel completely different. So let's go where we left off and let's see what we're going to find. I'm not sure how long will it take for me to recover from this like flame juggler thing, but I mean, Ignis just got 5 reputation points of some kind. I mean, now I'm scared. Everything, most people, whatever they say, they just make things worse. And it pisses me off, but we have to keep moving forward. So last time we have collected 77 points of cringe. Previously. On the cringe collection. Technically, I didn't have to do that, but here you go. 77. Let's continue then. Cringing around. I have Blackpaw. Absolute cringe. It's playable in 3 decks all at once. I think it's 4 points of cringe because it's ridiculously powerful. It stands alone, like Dr. 7, Dr. Boom, bro. This was also kind of cringe when it's a free card technically, but it kind of comes out as a combo card if you discount it, and it was possible to do that. It's kind of cringe, but I would love the design. Like it's fine, but like it's weird at the same time. It's too fucking cringe because it was playable even though it looks like trash. Don Hancho, sure, not cringe. Cringe is stuff that is OP technically. And this is the stuff we're looking for. We're looking for legendaries that just win the game. Was Kazakis winning the games? I honestly don't care about Kazakis. I'll give him 1 point in the power scale. of things. What else do we have? Raza, absolute nonsense. And you can see it's a Reno card. We have some little bit of theme going on. If you heard something way too much, like Raza Priest, I've heard it for so long as well. Maybe it's 5 points of cringe. And technically it's all enabled by this one card. Maybe it's 7 points. Fuck this card, man. Alright. Maybe I need some OP cringe like that, right? Here we go. Now we understand what we're talking about. We're talking about the powerful cards, not the shitty cards, because we would be all day, and I mean all day, all 24 hours, my friends, 24 videos just to explain all the stupid-ass cards and reframe them so they actually start working again. Summon all demons from your hand. Oh my god, that's so powerful. I've never seen this card being played. There's so many cards that have not been played, and it's so disgusting. They haven't even tried to, like if you really want the stupid money so badly, then make things work, balance things out, fix the problem that breaks the game, because the game can be broken in very simple terms, you know. So I'm reminding those terms. Hearthstone needs to die already. This badly. I remind this badly. So the game is not repetitive. The game is not just like 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, and it's always the same thing, or it's always the same win condition, always the same expectation of what your opponent is going to do, of like you have too many minions and you're still scared of Borklers every single time. Every single time, there's never like a safety net. But sometimes, you know, your opponent plays an aggro deck and they don't need Borklers. You need Borklers. So this is not exactly the biggest problem. Waste of time can be a little bit of a problem. But other card games have it too. But the game balance, bro, holy shit. To know that there's so many stingy cards, so many OP cards, I don't know, man. This one breaks the game, and you can see it's yellow, means it's commercial problem. It's a problem that only happens in capitalism, where you're trying to sell something so badly that you screw up everything else because of that. And it's like kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie, like you're just shooting yourself in the foot by being greedy. Don't seem rewarding is the idea that there's no reason to even play the game. Like, what are you gonna get? What is the next step? How do you climb upstairs and have fun with that idea? Where do you get resources? Just by playing the game? What kind of quest do you have to complete? The stuff like that exists, and it's not too bad. It does make me come back to the game. Keep me on the loop, basically. And there's a community aspect to it. So we're not far off from, you know, cleaning up these problems if we truly work hard enough. But that third one, the commercial problem that plagues literally every single game in existence, that seems like a AAA title, but not really. I mean, holy shit. Right now, Raran himself is 3 days in a row looking for a different card game to play. Literally. It's insane. You don't get to see it right now, but he's live streaming a bunch of different card games. This, and that. Let's see how long this lasts, because it's a three-day chain, basically. If you exclude this video, of course. Because technically, I can exclude this video. I'm literally talking about old legendary cards being broken. And that's what he was testing. So far he played 3 different card games at least in a span of a week. That is this new thing for some reason. At December, should be doing something cooler than that. But I guess his presence is a gift to humanity. Best influencer ever. Alright, so let's continue. Umbra overstayed its welcome, just like Bran. It's too basic and very, very powerful in that sense. But it's only like for combo decks, not a big deal. Everything else is kind of trash. Maybe Hammett is a little bit weird, but I'm okay with that. It's just 1 point of cringe. This expansion seems fine and nothing to complain about, right? Well, not so fast. As you can see, there's a secret legendary, secret ultra giga legendary. The funny thing is, I actually like this idea of doing something very crazy, but you have to complete a quest first. This was actually a very good idea, except it doesn't work with every single class. So Jungle Giants probably is fine because it's not oppressive in any way. This was sort of fine. I don't remember this breaking the game. And then you have a thing that's probably at least 10 points of cringe, because I had to hear about it for like 5 years since its existence. Since this quest exists, I can't stop hearing about it until it got finally nerfed. After 5 nerfs or 7 nerfs, who the fuck know anymore? How many bombs they had to drop to just like stop this card from being an annihilation of humanity in Hearthstone. Open the way gate. I mean, open Oblivion gates? OP Oblivion? Oblivion. I would just keep on clicking eternally. This is unbelievable to me. So that happened, and then Pyros is cringe. Return this. That cost 4. So it had to be buffed. Sunkeeper is a little bit cringe. I don't like the card. Seems pretty OP. Galvadon. People laughed at it. I think it's pretty powerful, but the quest is very difficult to complete. This one's a little bit cringe. You reset the game. We're getting into that territory where it's not cool at all. And the legendary with infinite generation is also pretty weird. But now we just call it Pyrotechnician, and we don't actually want to play it anymore. So I'll just give 1 click. But because, for the respect of Pyrotechnician getting banned, at least, I don't know. And it costed 5 mana. So yeah. Cool, right? I do love this card. I have no problems with that. Even though it is infinite value, so... Whoops. But then you have this card that... plagued Hearthstone for its entire existence by accident, and they just can't quite figure out how to nerf this card after 7 nerfs, literally repeating history side by side. It pisses me off that it's that easy. It's just that easy for them to print out a legendary card that just gets out of control and they don't know what to do about it. They go into panic mode. But over time, of like, maybe we should actually do something 3 years later about this card. Is it unnerfed now? Is it completely unnerfed? For minions with the same... It seems like now is the original version that we're looking at. And no longer is playable, right? I don't understand. I just don't understand, bro. Also, playing stuff with the same name is just kind of weird. It's not really a fun quest in general. Murlocs, I don't care. You know, in comparison, it's just so weird. Yet, this is not a permanent effect. If you get 2 Murlocs every single turn, that would be pretty crazy. If you get Murlocs on the board every single turn, that would be pretty crazy. That's what it does. It's a permanent effect. And this one is different. This one is game-winning effect. It's a combo card. That you can pull off any sort of combo with that. It's way too easy, bro. Well, here the game switches to insanity very soon. And it's so difficult to, like, nerf the card, you have to rework it. But how do you rework it? How long do you have to wait until you rework a card like that? Well, you have to think, is there a better way to design a card? You have to think very, very carefully when doing this shit. You can nerf once, and then you have to rework right after. Now, do I have offers? Because that would be cool. I think it's a very interesting puzzle to solve of what to do with this crystal core shit. First of all, if you're playing copies of minions, then for the rest of the game, your minions do something or whatever. Or you gain copies of minions. How about that? Should this be a one-time effect? I don't know. There's many options. When you're reworking the card, you can just butcher the existing card completely. There's one suggestion, and I feel like it's gonna be fine with that. You don't have to set your minion stats in any way, because it's impossible to, like, silence stuff like that. If you play a card with the same name, you get like +2/+2. You get to choose, first of all, how many stats you're gonna give. And then you draw a card. So you get a little bit of... And maybe you deal 2 damage randomly or something. You can just spice it up as much as you want. Whatever you feel the card needs. But you have to think that way of, like, why the fuck should I complete the quest when it has nothing to do? Like, it's just overall a very good thing to get when you're playing a bunch of small minions. Everything gets buffed forever. It's pretty insane. And then you have chargers that get buffed at the same time. I mean, it's fucking bizarre to me. Then this happens, where it's actually a bad card. Or is it? I don't know. This one also kind of cringe. It's annoying. I'll give 3 because it was playable, and that's pretty cringe to me at this point. Why is it playable? I mean, you just play taunts, you get a hero power upgraded. That's pretty good. Deals direct damage. Infinite Ragnaros. I do appreciate this is just a normal quest. That's how quests should work. Where you still have to, like, pay mana for doing crazy stuff. This is like 0 mana, bro. You just play it and that's it. This is, you constantly have to use your hero power and replace your hero power too. Like, what the fuck? And you still have time to react while your opponent is just using a weapon instead of a hero power, because they can't. It's so weird, but, like, this is probably design, and clearly an infinite effect is absolute cancer in this game when it gets out of control. But no one, like, in Blizzard seems to sit down and just, like, analyze their own game properly. Of, like, well, this is a problem, we have to redesign it. I have to think of something better, something more juicier. They have the opportunity to make a card more interesting. Why the fuck not do that? Right? More interesting, think about it a little bit more deeply, because it's gonna get nerfed, it's gonna get changed anyways, so might as well make it more interesting. You know, and more appealing, so people don't actually disenchant the card. Or you don't give ability to disenchant the card because you put so much work into it. They don't deserve to disenchant it. At least not for the full price. I don't know. So everything else is nonsense. And now we finally upgrade our heroes. Wow. How cool is that? Which ones were cringe and which ones are not cringe? This one was played for a very long time. Hadronox has been for a very long time annoying as fuck. I'll give maybe 4 for each. Because heroes are scary, man, when they are overplayed. And you will see pretty much every single hero being played here, I feel like. Rexar has been for 7 points of cringe, I think. Like, again, we rely now on legendaries. And at this part in the game, I was thinking of, like, it's pay to win. By all means, it's almost pay to play because you have to have these legendaries to be able to enjoy the actual spectrum of the game and completing quests and using hero, upgraded hero powers and all that shit. Like, it's, now the game is turning into absolute cancer and it's very, very expensive to play. Which is why people hated Stormwind, I believe. It had quests, it has heroes, and it had a community that had to suffer through wave after wave of this bullshit being printed out. Do we also get Genenbaku soon? Well, very soon, I believe. Witchwood is 2 expansions away. So, whoopsie noodles, I guess. This was almost the worst year because, you know, if Witchwood was switched with kobolds, it would be the worst year in Hearthstone history by far. Easily. And it kind of was switched, right? When the Witchwood Genenbaku rotated out alongside with this stuff. So technically it was previous year cards. Isn't that interesting? And again, they have an opportunity to rework the cards if they're so insecure about the design of how it all works. There's something you can do. Like, that's how card games work. There's so many options. There's always something you can do to fix your stupid game. And it's a remarkable learning experience. Sindragosa is nothing, but Jaina is the first card with perpetual lifesteal. And in Arena it was absolute nightmare. I'll give it a 6 for now, it feels like. Like, we're exceeding cringe levels faster than ever before. Simply because of these weird class cards that you need to draw to win the game now. You just need to do that. This was also a little bit of a cringe because it just wins the game. I mean, literally has the hero power saying win the game. I mean, I'll give 5. Even though it's not that powerful, but it creates this stupid 4 horsemen thing that, you know, or just win the game condition that nobody really enjoys in any way. It's just kind of bizarre. But it's fine overall if you don't think about it that way. Such a crazy card. I swear I lost so many games because of this card being played. And then you have a very shitty card that nobody cares about for so long that it's insane. They say the name of Shadow Reaper. Or, no, they say Raza Priest, but they sort of mean this screamy priest that also looks kind of fucking ugly. 10 points of cringe. If not more. I've heard about it way too long, but it's because of Raza that has been nerfed, and it's like, oh, I guess I can't play the Raza Priest anymore, because it's all about Raza in the first place. It says in the name. But this is what enabled the fucking thing, the infinite hero power. So you get something infinite, and now you have to couple it with certain type of cards to activate, and that's it. That's all you're thinking about. If people use something more than 10 times, maybe you should fucking nerf that shit. Alright. A little bit of cringe. I don't even know what this does, and I don't care. A little bit of cringe, but maybe just 2. Maybe this one is like super fine. But like hiding from your opponent is unacceptable, bro. I want to hit your face. This one's completely fine, I think. You know, I've seen it played, like, it's a hero skin, like, you got a hero card. Okay. And Blood Reaver Gul'dan. Another 10-pointer of insanity. It literally just stands out of like, oh, I guess I win the game now by summoning a full board of demons that impossible to get through. You get the wall demon, basically. A wall of demons with taunts. Infinite taunts. Like, bro. Or you just get the charge demons. Whatever you like, basically. This card is just overly playable, and the hero power is also pretty crazy. On top of that. But you just get full board. Why would you not play it? A card like this. Was this the worst hero? I don't know. But it's the worst hero power, so there's no reason to play this hero. I almost disenchanted it. If I had one. It's so cringe, right? Like, everything stands on a hero power. You don't understand how powerful something is until you realize what gives it the power. Why this card is such a weak one out of the bunch. We got so many 10-pointers where everything else is mild, right? Something stands out, something breaks the game, but Hearthstone developers, they just wait. They just keep on waiting. Let's just see what happens. This is so interesting when the world is on fire. I mean, absolutely. It's so interesting. It gets so much attention. But it creates such a bad curveball of feelings. The only reason, again, why Hearthstone is successful is that the competitors are even shittier and cringier and stupider. They don't get into the same problems, but they're venturing into territories that are not passionable, not interesting. They overcomplicate things, and they can't even get the design properly of like simple, playable design. So we'll see what if Rauren fishes out a good card game. If that's gonna happen, and we're actually gonna celebrate New Year's somewhere else, because fucking Hearthstone Island is full of shit and brain damaged people. It seems like we need a completely fresh start where even you can say anything and I wouldn't be able to detect brain damage. That would be so satisfying. So far, Marvel Snap is pretty good. It's a pretty fascinating card game that you can play on mobile. You know, it's mobile friendly, so I'll get a lot of subscribers. At this point, I have to craft Hearthstone memes with the comments that I receive. It can literally turn into memes, eternal memes. I mean, holy shit. And I will say meme detected. Oh my god. Khaleset, 10 points. No? You don't think it deserves 10 points? Okay, 7 points. Definitely deserves 7 points because it's absolute cringe overload. For being a perpetual effect from turn 2, encouraging you to not play 2-drops. Who needs 2-drops when you just buff the rest of your cards, you know? I don't need 2-drops anymore. Fuck that shit. The problem with this card is obviously drawing this on turn 2 instead, right? And that's it. And then you're encouraged to play more 1-drops too. So they kind of fill in the void. Better than you think. You know, you play your 3-drop, you play your 3-drop with a 1-drop on next turn. If you miss 4-drop, now you have more options technically than just playing 2-drops. So, doesn't actually kill your deck, doesn't actually hurt your deck that much. Maybe you cannot play certain type of spells, but whatever, right? Just shadow step this one more time and everything's fixed all of a sudden. While the other cards, not so playable, unfortunately. Gain lifesteal and taunt by not having 4-drops. What? I don't even get stats? I don't get nothing? Lifesteal and taunt? This is how much I have to work for lifesteal and taunt right now? Are you kidding me, guys? Again, we would be all day just laughing at the stupid game design if we looked at the opposite side of the piles of shit that Blizzard just vomited out. Deck has no 3-cost cards. What do we get? What do we get? Transformer 3. This was almost playable for some reason. Wow. Amazing. And Lich King is a little bit of cringe because it's infinite value, but fine. It's fine with me. Yeah, and the really powerful cards you get out of that. ICO cards will be passed. I mean, I don't see any cringe here. Something that was overplayed, burnt my eyes out. But it doesn't seem to be powerful. Also, King Togwaggle was a combo thing, so unfortunately it's a little bit cringy. And then you have this. Legendary effect, so crazy. They're still being played to this day, haha. They had to be actually redesigned for the first time in forever, we see it. A slight redesign. Titsy bitsy tiny. Tiny whiny. The biggest one was Thaddeus. But they kind of failed because cards can cost 0 mana? That's crazy, bro. We didn't thought about it. I mean, cool. Wow. Well, so that's a thing. And it's worth 7 points, I think. Maybe 6. It's not that crazy. And I feel it was properly nerfed, to be honest. This is actually a kind of cool card. I haven't seen it. Alness is a little bit cringe. Seems to be a big card. Never impressed me that much. But definitely playable. Definitely interesting. Even though you can get yourself milled very fast. But if you know what you're doing with it, it's not that bad. Valnir at sometimes turn into absolute cringe. When you copy and paste the death rattle, you get infinite of that shit. It's weird. Because you re-equip. It's this. So it keeps going back and forth. It's so weird. Basically infinite value card. Again. Why would you not play this? I think it's a little bit more cringe now. That I think about it. 5 points. Completely fine. Right? I think it's kind of cute card, but it's a little bit cringe. Because it's so easily playable. You just squeeze 3 mana out of your system. Let's keep going, boys. By the way, some of these cards I actually have, isn't that crazy? That's so evil. King's Bane is a Bane of Hearthstone, absolutely. It's such a terrible year. But they finished it off pretty fucking fascinating. With Witchwood. Alright. And again, finished off in quotation marks. Rune Spirit was actually pretty cute. World Shaker happens to be ultimate cringe because it enables Shudderwalk. Eventually, we realize, oh, this card is pretty fucking good. Yeah. Yeah. It's a combo card. This literally single-handedly enables Shadow Walk. You have to play this first, otherwise Shadow Walk doesn't work. It doesn't just give you copies of Shadow Walk in your hands for free. You have to return it to your hands, and then it costs 1. There's so many ways to nerf this card that it's insane. But it's gonna lose flavor. But then you don't have to nerf Shadow Walk, though. Because it relies on this card. World Shaker, bro. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? Alright. So, where else do we go from here? Recruit a minion sucked balls. This one sucked balls. Rin is a cute card. This one, another super ultra cringe. Is it 10 points? Maybe 8. Maybe it's close to 10 points because it just summons giant demons, giant walls for free. Cube Warlock is enabled that way. I mean, congratulations, man. It's amazing. These cards stand out so badly, it's insane. And everything else that's mild, like, cool. I like it. So, but Blizzard loves that. Something stands out. I mean, it has to be good for the game. Because it's a memory now. But it's also brain damage. And something I don't like, and it stacks. It's just a proof of a terrible game design. The only thing Hearthstone is doing is creating a card game as a competitor that's gonna have 0 flaws, just gonna be a flawless game. And I have to try and do that myself, you know, I have to make my own card game by any means necessary because Hearthstone has taught me so much stuff that technically the more you play this, the more you survive in this economy of shitty fucking cards damaging your brain. I mean, you have to be a genius at that point. I have proven my worth. These legendaries can be apparently incredibly bad. At least it's not Ariana, because that would just damage me so badly. My life would not be the same. Yeah. Why is this bad? Because you don't actually get the effects whatsoever. Your opponent gets the effects. So, whoops. And there's no way you can combo out anything special here. It's unbelievable. Unless you pull it out of your hand. Or out of your deck into the battlefield. But then you probably played a card that turn anyways. And it still benefits your opponent. Yeah. What a terrible design. And they just went with it. They're just like, well, that's cool. I mean, anything can make history. Anything can be memorable. But again, we don't talk about Brunos here. There's a lot of Brunos. This is actually an annoying card. But I guess it's fine. I'll give a 2. It's annoying as a tempo player. You're dealing with this shit. It's a little bit cringe. Back in the day, Rush was not as powerful or as often used, and this one just enables Rush for everything. Even now, it would be pretty good deal, and it definitely feels. You can feel that the presence of this card, even though people didn't want to play this, but they don't understand the power of Rush. That's just simple as that. And power of Eternal card. Eternal effects. This one is on board effect, which is not that powerful, but it's pretty scary. This is fine. Fine. Restore health, gain divine shields. This is garbage. Whatever. Fine. Test Greymane is absolute fucking cringe. It still exists to this day, and it's still annoying, to be honest. 10 points easily. It just plays every single card. Oh, wow. So you have to play this in every single rogue, I guess. I still haven't crafted the damn thing. survived Witchwood. And it's such an annoying card that survived Witchwood. But again, this is what happens with memorable cards. They stick around for a little bit longer than you want them to do. And holy shit, man. Shitwalker, bro. Holy crap. And because Raron likes this card, might as well fucking make it 15 points of cringe. Because holy shit, man. The amount of nightmares this card has caused to the game. Man, holy shit. You don't want to associate with that card, I'm just saying. This might be just the weakness of Raron, I guess. If you scream at him over and over again and repeat the battle cry, then he will submit to your powers. I can't quite... Maybe there's something like Raynet said that we can translate to Raron and all of a sudden we can repeat the same thing. The moment Raron watches my videos, because it's inevitable, alright? I'm a smart dude, he needs brain cells. And he needs to get his card games evaluated twice. Because runeverse was actually a pretty good card game. It just didn't went anywhere. The game developers gave up because that's what game developers do. They run out of stamina very quickly. It gets more and more complicated exponentially. Especially when you're dealing with card games, every single card is programmed in such a complicated way. It's such a network of effects that, I mean, you have no idea how difficult it is to make shit like this. When you just plug in a bunch of ragdolls and call it the fucking goat simulator. That seems easier than making a card game, to me, personally. 3 damage to all minions, blah blah blah. This is a... I can't touch this card, I can't say anything about this card. It is a Borkler, though, which pisses me off a little bit. But it's one of the most favorite cards for WoW hops to play, because it keeps on generating a bunch of spells. It's fascinating. Pretty lovely. Lord Goffrey, absolute cringe. I hate it personally. Clearing the board. Back in the day, this was another Twisting Nether. And a very, very efficient one, too. Pisses me off. At least Warlock was countering itself because it summoned the wall of demons and it killed its own wall of demons efficiently, you know. And this one probably showed up too many times, and some particular combos can be pretty disgusting if it actually works and gives you 0 cost cards. This is why Echo had to be nerfed. So technically 2 more points of cringe because Echo got nerfed as well. And this one turns everything into Echo. Because why not? Very dangerous card to print. Completely fine. And then you have the end of the video, obviously. Dollmaster. I mean, you would love that shit. Draw a minion. This was actually played, and it's a little bit of cringe. It does have some effects that you don't like to encounter. So yeah, the first cringe part is that technically you should have been able to craft these cards, but your dust has been stolen because it rotated pretty quickly, so it was not a good investment in the first place. But it was necessary to craft these cards. I didn't do it. I avoided doing that. I was almost like willing not to play the game anymore because time and time again I was forced to craft cards to be able to play the game. And that's cringe number 1. And that's what makes the quest even more cringier and everything cringier. The hero cards as well. Then I even suggested of like 10 points being the max. I think it's kind of 11. It kind of breaks the scale. In that sense, Genenbaku is actually a mild comparison of like, well, you have to play these cards, it's fine. You have to construct decks in a particular way. It's a little bit stupid how it all comes together. How it should be redesigned is the last question. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's even a problem, in a way. People were forced to play these weird decks, but is that really a problem? Because this one actually feels fair. This one, it feels it's at the start of the game. It feels fair. The quests, they're pretty random. The way you activate the quest, whenever you get a hero upgrade, is also pretty random. But this is not as random as everything else that we experienced. I'm not sure if I feel bad about these things. It was bad to play the game when you can't actually play anything else but this shit, because it still probably boosts your win rates quite a bit. It's hard to tell. So, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad of a design choice. And I don't know how to change it without knowing that it's truly bad. Someone has to actually explain it properly to me. And maybe the bonus meme is to watch a Reynad's video of, like, him trying to explain this shit. Maybe I missed something, because I don't see it. I think it's just fair. But it changed the game so much that it got pretty scary. And I haven't even crafted these cards throughout the year. I probably didn't even want to play the game anymore. Funny enough, we talked about like game-breaking cards, but in terms of neutrals, this was the only time when a card has reached Dr. Boom level. And it doesn't look like a big deal, it's just card draw is pretty powerful thing to do. And you draw specific cards as well, so. And maybe it's not Genenbaku's fault in the end. In the end, maybe you just have to balance the hero powers themselves to make sure that everyone is competitive in that sense. Who knows, right? What the actual underlying problem is and how do you redesign these cards, because these are very, very complicated ones. And you're forced to play them, very likely. This was also a little bit cringe, I guess, because of the stupid talk waggle thing and more nonsense that you can come up with, I guess. But yeah, this was the only time how that I decided, well, through calculations, Dr. Boom was challenged and potentially will be defeated in power level. I don't remember when I stopped checking the power level of cards, but it's so bizarre. Because I needed to check the power creep, and I made the documentary as well, similar to this one. We only broke at Witchwood. We broke a lot of shit at Witchwood, it seems. But then things broke way, way more, I think, since Skolemans, since the introduction of ridiculous Borklers. Then the game completely changed as well. So let's see what Ron has to say, because it's going to be my bonus meme. Hearthstone biggest mistake. Expansion. Let's talk about that shit. Probably watch both videos. Yeah, at first he was a little bit of a weird green thing that talked about stuff. And it evolved pretty satisfyingly, I guess. I didn't expect it to actually upgrade that much, because just listening to documentaries just on ideas, when you don't even see his face. You don't see my face, so I guess I'm going in the right direction, right? I just need a VTuber avatar.
Actually be.
Fucking 69, bro. There's definitely a yin and yang idea behind this, but at the same time it looks like cringe 69 joke. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Haha. And they're also backwards in stats. But the card art itself doesn't look like a 69 to me. Unless this is S and then you have X somewhere. I mean, he does cross his arms. So I guess it is S and X, bro. Fascinating stuff. GG. BM. What? GGBM, bro. Is how many puns are there, bro? What the fuck? Just in places where no puns are even allowed in a way. Oh, it's a beast. What does that mean? Holy shit.
Mediocre sets. But because they decided to lower the power level of the expansions, that...
Yeah, this was... The previous year was pretty fucking cringe in power level. But now we got the most powerful legendary. So, how do we stop that? Well, technically, the power level is way lesser. Rush Minion probably sucks. Death Rattle is the only, like, playable thing. Lifesteal probably sucks in the game back in the day. Just you draw plenty of cards. Now, well, let's keep Legendary. Just to get the vibe. I mean, we get some pretty cool stuff. But this is shit. Mechatoon is annoying. Snip Snap is a good legendary, bro. I don't think it's different. But I didn't check the power level of these. I don't think. So when do we start breaking the game again with legendaries? Neutral legendaries to be specific. This is shit. No, this is very cool. This was plain. When do we break game again? This was actually starting to break the game quite a bit. Tiamat was one of the best. Now we're coming back to the power nonsense. Shuma is annoying. This is definitely annoying. Nope. I don't see it. See, it's a pretty much relatively new idea to make game-winning legendaries. Dr. Boom is the only, like, example of it. Then Ragnaros is, like, pretty swingy card. But for a long time, legendaries were not that crazy. Very, very long time. Dark Moon? Okay. The old gods obviously a little bit weird in that sense. They try to break the mold. So yeah, when a legendary changes the entire game, that is pretty weird. For which what to do. Now I haven't played any of these Stormwind year stuff. But we're almost there, I guess. This is a pretty high power level for being a Borkler. But still, this doesn't break the game. None of these things break the game. 18 is a little bit weird. This is where we found Dr. Boom. And it's like, what? No one even plays this card. But it's Dr. Boom power level. For sure. 10 damage to the board. You can choose which way to go. You can kill Death Rattles with this. Are you kidding me, bro? 18 points of stats, basically. Dr. Boom was 11. 11. This just pushed the envelope so much. With +1, obviously, of mana. This is crazy card draw. But not that playable, it seems. And everything else still mild in comparison. Maybe Lady Prester is pretty cool. Again, I'm not sure why people didn't play this. It's so weird. People played this way, way, way more just to deal some fucking damage to the board. Which is, I guess that makes sense, but you are wasting your turn 3 play. Which is a little bit weird to do. I still understand this. Very flexible card, very playable. So, whatever. And then you have the same thing repeated. This time with Rush, Taunt, and Divine Shield, because the previous thing literally failed a little bit more. But it was 7 mana. Oh no, it gains things too. This one also got played, and this was also pretty powerful now. And then Smite. Ah, finally. So Stormwind not only was the year that people hate, but it also started introducing game-winning legendaries. By all means. And it introduced the most stupidest legendary of all time, which is Mr. Smite, or as most people know him as Mr. Beast.
Cobalt, but they also took a really big risk in
Again, Raven took a big risk of going from gameplay because the year of Stormer was so bad he had to stop playing the game. But basically it was coming back. The legendaries that completely changed the game, they're coming back. And now they're just dominating. And people are just overlooking that shit. Because we no longer have like quests and stuff. We don't no longer have Stormwind champions, basically.
bosses in the game.
I think it's very stupid to compare Baku with Demon Hunter. Because Demon Hunter is a class. And these are neutral legendaries. This is something you can build a deck with. But back in the day, we didn't have golds. We didn't have dust. We can't just craft legendaries left and right. A lot of people are just kicked out from playing the game. You know, because this 3,200 gold back in the day is pretty fucking brutal to try and get, just to get one legendary, bro. It's insane. At that time, like, playing Arena was fun. Because maybe Kriparian was still playing? No? Maybe he was. He should have been.
Much to get in Baku, because you could make each of them 10 cost 0/0s, and a huge percentage of the game, it wouldn't matter. Because what's powerful about the card, it has nothing to do with the actual numbers in the card. It just has to do with the fact that it upgrades your hero power by virtue of simply being...
Yes, you can do a lot of things to the card by designing it slightly different. One example is to not do it at the start of the game, but start of turn 5, for example. Alright? And then it's a very big disadvantage to wait 5 turns until you can actually use your shit. You start with shitty hero power. But again, I don't see the problem. If everyone plays Baku, I don't see the problem. It's just a completely different way to play the game. It's more of a twist to the game than anything. Like, what the fuck's the problem? Yeah, I still don't understand what the fuck we're talking about. It's just like, oh, the game changed. I remember Baku is a thing, guys. I remember Shadowwalk is a thing, so it's my favorite card or whatever. Like, it's fucking cringe, the mentality behind his videos, in a sense. But let's see what he does 1 year later, when he can say more things in that video.
One of the
He just kind of looks into stats. This is the most memorable moment for me. But, because it's the grand tournament, the biggest spike of all time. And We just slide down those spikes the whole way through. I don't know. I'm not watching this video. Cringe.
Baku the Moon Eater.
But I want to watch this. Is Baku the Moon Eater still broken? I want to see the vibe of the idea here.
Yeah, dude. Hi, what's up?
First of all, you might notice that on turn 4 specifically, you're screwed. You're screwed. Your hero power costs 2, but it doesn't cover the 4 mana cost. So the Moon Eater is a little bit of a cringe idea here. Unless you discount something, you have ability to sort of do that up to turn 4, but it's very weird. I mean, he's correct saying that the power level of everything else was pretty low. So these upgrades definitely carry. And the biggest change about these little upgrades is that you get card advantage. Simply enough. If you keep pressing this one button, you don't actually use cards for that. I do wonder if we're gonna go up or down in terms of cringe next episode.
Alright.
I'll just end the video here. We're gonna talk about this later. It's already an hour and a bit. See you guys next time, and I'm gonna eat some moons, apparently. I still haven't evaluated the cringe of these cards, because even though they pop up in a conversation, I just don't know what the problem is. Besides that, my money was almost stolen, which would introduce, like, since Adventure of Kobolds and Catacombs, the game was so much better simply because you had options. You click a different button, you go to Adventures, and all of a sudden you have a dungeon run. You can do things by yourself, with yourself, all alone, for a decent amount of time.
Adventurers! Adventurers!
So yeah, way cooler all of a sudden. There's nothing to complain about, like Witchwood art style of nonsense. And also, I wasn't like too into, again, Hearthstone as a whole when I had all these options. Alright, see you guys next time.